Hello, this is Donna Reiners, and I am subbing today for Peter in our weekly In the Know with Peter NGO. And Peter's traveling today, and some of us are meeting in Sarasota for the for Dr. Stacy's meeting, and so that's going to be an awesome time. And we just bless you for being here today, and I hope that it will be of service to you and of help to you moving forward. I'm going to go over some nuts and bolts today, just some simple things, the simple things that maybe you may already know. I already know them, but I still think, oh, wait, what should I do first? What should I do second sometimes? And so I'm just going to share in my heart regarding some of these things, and I hope that they are helpful to you. And so I'm going to share my screen and go from there. And if we do in any way, shape, or form end up discussing patching in some way, I just want to reiterate that we are not here to treat, diagnose, cure, or call out any type of specific conditions or diseases. We instead are helping everybody's physical body repair, regenerate, restore, and rebuild itself based on the wavelength that their body carries and reflects off of their own body, to ensure that, which I think is amazing. And that's why this is a patented technology. So bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm going to share my screen and go from there and see what kind of trouble we can get into today. So I have my little links here set up for myself because that's the best thing for me. I'm going to start with a very basic thing that is on the website, and that is a getting started checklist. It may not be completely up to date as of today, but it is good enough to really, truly look and see when you start or you have someone else start and they're using the patches and they want to share them. This is a great opportunity for you to just touch base with them, and you can share this with them, or you can go over it yourself with them on what you think would pertain to them in a kind and gentle way, so they don't feel pressured in a quote unquote any kind of business. But then there are some that I know, something that I saw last year is that I was going to help people increase their income, and that it was just as important as having someone's health be addressed. And it was really a real straightforward thing for me because, we can think we're just so noble helping people with their health, but then what about the people that honestly can't pay their bills? This is an awesome opportunity for them to catch on to something that's brand new, and that they can actually help people in a real and viable way, and not some cute little thing that they pop in their mouth. This is a brilliant way to earn income. It is not fast, it is slow. And I just believe that if you don't make promises regarding things, but you help people be consistent on a daily basis, that over time, that's the consistency. Like Peter talks about when we go to the gym, if you just go once a week to build that muscle, you're just going to be sore all week because you just did it once. But if you go 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or maybe you do cardio a couple times a week and you do strength building the other times a week, over time, you'll see a difference in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You'll see a difference in a year. You'll see a difference in 2 years. And like me, I've been out for a month and a half because of the situation I've been dealing with my physical body. And I know not only did I gain some weight, hello, ladies, not cool, but I also lost some of my strength that I've been intentionally working toward for the last 6 months. Very disappointed about that, but I know I just need to get back in the game and keep moving. And so same thing with this getting started checklist. If you will look and see, it asks you simple things like, what about your time? What days per week can you commit? And maybe you should ask yourself, we're in the beginning of the new year. This is a great time to ask yourself, where am I? Where am I in my life this year? Or where am I in my month? This month, maybe you just need to look at 1 month. Maybe looking at the whole year is overwhelming. We have some changes taking place in our family. We have someone with some health issues that the patches have helped tremendously, but we're still in a process of some things that are going to shift our whole dynamic. So sometimes that shifts our real life, shifts how we do our business. So ask yourself, what days per week can you commit? How many days per hour, per day? What's your commitment to going to the review and testimonials? choose twice a week. And then you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I got to get there. Oh my gosh, I got to hurry. And then you're not stressing and striving. If you can easily get there every night and on Friday day, awesome, rock it out, do it. But if it's stressful for you, if you find yourself becoming a professional podcaster, you might well consider pulling back so that whatever intentional action you have in watching the podcast actually bears fruit. Like inviting someone there to be there with you instead of just showing up 4 days a week, spending a day going, who could I invite, and meeting them, and then getting off of there and talking with them. Listen, if you do that twice a week, you will not only share the health, but over time, you can gain some wealth. So what's your commitment to the business training? On Mondays, Marcy has, usually on Mondays, we have the business training. There's also the practitioner calls on Thursday if you're already in the health field. If you're already in the health field, that's an excellent one. That's like a business training as well. And then, of course, your testimony. If you have one, write it down and continue to add to it. I had someone I was working with this week, and she was getting on a maintenance plan, and she wanted to share the patches, but she didn't feel like she had a strong testimony. I said, well, have you had anything take place? She said, I've been using these for months, and the only thing I have is I'm sleeping deeper. I said, really? I said, did you sleep before that? And she said, yes, I did, but boy, I'm sleeping deeper. I said, girl, you need to own that. Own that you're sleeping deeper. And that is what will come across when you talk with someone about your personal story. But if you're like, I got on these patches and I really think you should try them, but they're helping me sleep. If you say that, they're going, well, good for you. Let me know when you got something real to hold on to. So that being said, whatever little bitty shift you had, it's all in how you present that little bitty shift. And that little bitty shift might be huge for that other person. So you don't underestimate your day of small beginning in your small testimony that will change over time. And also lead them into other people's testimonials that will meet them where they are with the condition they're working with. And then go through out of the gates. Of course, you're going to make your top 20 list. You're going to ask yourself who you know. And you've been in this training, who to talk to: health, wealth, desires, income, time, freedom, all those things. And then remember where your tools are. X39biz.com. This is now 333. Ask, share, give. So go through each one of these with the people that you're enrolling. Listen, print this out for yourself so that when you enroll someone, you can maybe look through this and see, hey, how can I help them navigate towards sharing the patches? They may not want to share the patches until they have some strong testimonial. I always tell them, listen, if you have an apple here, but you have a watermelon and you have a banana and you have a piece of steak and you have this over here, these are all so different. You cannot compare your body with all these people's bodies. I implore you not to wait until you have a testimony to share light with someone that can help them start their journey. And so go through these and be familiar so that it comes off of you like water, just like water out of a faucet. So it's not a stress and it's not a stressor for you communicating. Make certain your personal shipment is set up on a monthly basis. Listen, if you don't have an auto shipment in there, it's going to be, and I know a lot of people want to control their shipment. Okay. And I get that. I mean, who in here doesn't like to control, right? But if you think about you not having a monthly shipment, how can you, in all honesty, ask someone that you enroll to have a monthly shipment? How can you, in all honesty, say, hey, listen, the monthly shipment to help you stay on that? Well, I'm going to do it myself. That's wonderful. But what if life gets busy? What if something happens out of the blue and this is the last thing you're thinking about? Because this over here, your real life, your family life, your heart life is all of a sudden just shifted. And then this goes out and you lose all those points that you accumulated because one day you were going to have a business. This is to ensure you have what you need in place. Also, remember what it is to be active to earn your commissions. Below a manager, it's just 55 points. Above the manager, it's or a manager above, it's 110. And of course, you have to have a gold package, and you know about the packages, a minimum two silver above on the left and on the right, all active, and that makes you a manager, and you can get paid as a manager. Stay plugged in. Choose what are the trainings you go on every Saturday, where you plug in not just a community, but you choose, you get a new nugget. One thing I realized, you know, I've only used Apaches a year and a half, but I'm telling you, all the calls have strong benefit, because every time you can hear someone communicate the same thing, and so still one day it's communicated in such a way you're like, oh, that's what they've been saying. I've been listening to this for 6 months and I did not get that. And then all of a sudden it fits inside of you, and then you can implement it. And when you can own it, you can impart that owning it to the people that you enroll. This is what I found. So check out the your product and testimonial Zooms, connect socially. Telegram is really our place where we have the Be Activating Testimonials. If you are not in the Be Activating Testimonial group, I encourage you. And if one of you is tech savvy, and you could go to Be Activating Testimonials, or go into the startx39biz.com if you know how to do it already, and find the link to go there. You could perhaps put that in the chat box for all of us. And someone who is not part of Be Activating Testimonials, they could become a part of it. They can research conditions and all those things. And then you can easily copy and paste that and send that to your friends that you want to learn about conditions. For business builders, of course, most of us in here are wanting to build a business. If you haven't started, you probably want to in some way, or you wouldn't spend this time of day out for yourself. So strategize. How do you plan to reach your goals? You know, I'm really having to pause and stop and think, okay, how can I double my income? Because it's not going to just happen. You know, it could be, I may run across this person and this person on both sides that just take off, and they get it, and they run like the wind. And like Peter says, same as you or better than you. That could happen. But until that happens, I need to strategically be about my business to make sure I'm able to increase the income because of what I see coming down the road. So I'm ready for it. So think about what your goals are, your financial goals. Think about how much money you're going to need for that goal. And then sit down and wonder, how can I do it? And then sit and make an appointment with the person who enrolled you. If they're not working the business, or they're just playing around at it, doing it part-time, and they're not really all in, they may or may not be the person that you need to touch base with regarding your goals. You know, if Peter's too busy, there might be someone else. You might go through the Be Activating training, or whoever your upline is as you keep moving up. Go out through the Be Activating training videos and see if you can find one. I bet there's something on goal setting. I bet, and if there's not, listen, go Google yourself. This is not just about LifeWave. This is about your goals. Now, you do need specifics, like how many, you know how Peter goes, well, he's such a money man, right? He just goes off his little, oh, that's X amount. I'm like, good for you. I made an F in accounting. But you know, you need some specific goals. He knows exactly how many silvers to enroll to have exactly how much money at the end of the month. And he probably knows, just like this, in 6 months, that equals such and much. And I don't know that. I just know every day we need to enroll somebody. We need to connect with them. We need to connect them in the Telegram Be Activating. We need to connect them in a way where they can catch the recordings. So we need to connect them in a way where they are meeting with you on a weekly basis, or every other week or so. And if you don't see yourself as a trainer, and you don't think, oh, gosh, I don't know if I can do that, get them. You still need to get them on the Monday meetings with Marcy at noon Central Time, 10 o'clock Pacific. Get them on that at least. Be on there with them. If you can't be on there and they can't be on there, maybe take that recording and have your own Zoom meeting. Get your own Zoom meeting once a week and choose a night. Say, hey, we're going to do some business training, and do what I'm doing. Open up your own Zoom and pull open the recording and y'all watch it together and see if there's questions that they're there that maybe you don't know what they're saying, or maybe you know this, but you don't know that, and do it as a team. And then you're building equity with the people that you're walking out life with. It's not just about everybody getting trained up and rocking and rolling. Are you building up an equity and a trust with the people that you want to be working a business with in 5 years, down the road. And so I would do these things, use the system consistently. You can find this particular, let me go back to our Zoom. Hold on just a momento, por favor. Stop my share. I'm going to find that actually, I'll take all these links and I'll put them in here for you if you're interested in them. And these are also forms that you can print out and you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. I'm going to go back to where I am. All this technology, y'all. I'm like, really? I just don't know. One moment. Going back to my own notes, because that's where my stuff is. Okay. When you enroll someone, so we're talking about retention with behaviors and things, but when you're enrolling someone and all you do is enroll them and you go on with life, it's going to be difficult for that person to continue to trust you, and very difficult for you to even help them share it if you lose contact with them. So I want you to look at this. I want you to look at the intake form. This is the intake form we have under Take the Order. And if you don't have this, I just encourage you to print this out and look at it. Now, if you will see on the right-hand side, this area here, it asks, well, did they receive a 5-day starter kit? It's a great thing to remember, because 6 months from now, you may not remember that. Did they enroll as just a distributor? Did they enroll to do the business distributor, or are they just a consumer? Because that can shift. Do you send them a welcome letter? Do you know there's a welcome letter in the X39biz.com area where it gives you an idea of what to communicate with someone the minute you enroll them? Hi, such and which. So glad, welcome to the team. We're glad you're here. And then you can put in there, hey, please visit startx39now.com and watch this 2-minute video and watch this 18-minute video and click on this link and give them instructions so that they're engaged in this beautiful party called LifeWave. Send them something where you're welcoming them into your business, into your team, and let them connect with you. I also send them a picture of the invoice. Even if I'm working on my computer, I take a picture of it and I text it to them, because I'm 99% of the time always going to have their name in my phone, or I won't do business with them. That's just me. You do it your way. Did you notify them of the Patching podcast? That's where you might say, hey, I'm there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or hey, I take 30 minutes twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays to check into my community. Would you like to join me? And if those don't work, so is there another night you could go on Thursdays? If it's somebody's home during the day, hey, could you meet me on Friday afternoon? You'd be surprised what you can draw somebody into if you want to connect with them doing that. Also, upline phone numbers right here. I always have a couple of upline phone numbers I give my people immediately. It's like, hi, welcome, Michael. This is such and which, and this is such and which, and we're on this thread together. And if you have any questions on the patches, you have any question on something happening with your body, or how to reach out to a neighbor or a friend, you're welcome to text us here, and whoever is available will get back with you. And then it's not just me doing it, because what if I'm on vacation somewhere? I don't have internet, whatever. Then that leaves them just dependent on me. And I don't want anybody just dependent on me. I want us to all help people grow stronger so they can live longer. And if they want to get into the business part, I want us to all help them, because we all have a different gift set and we all need each other. Now, I don't know if y'all do this, but when you enroll someone, do you do a first week checkup? Do you call them in 5 days? Hey, get your package in. Now, I always do the order. I rarely, only if they, man, if they just really have to enroll themselves and they're that paranoid, but normally I will tell every person, hey, listen, I actually open your account for you. I place the order for you. I assign your login and your password, and it's seamless for you. And then I walk you with in your health journey the first few months, so that they understand that they're getting that information from me and I'm their connection. So then I know I'm the one who set up their monthly shipment. And I'll always say, listen, your first shipment is going to be processed 25 days from today when I enter your account. And then it will be every 30 days after that. And that's how I let them know ahead of time I'm setting up a monthly shipment. You won't ever hear me say, hey, do you want me to set up a monthly shipment? You will never, I don't say never often, but you won't ever hear me say that, because I want them to hear the importance of them having a monthly commitment. And I'll even say things like, this is your monthly investment in yourself, $99 plus shipping and tax to remain activating your own stem cells. So I will call them a week in when they have their patches. I will go into their account and I will track their shipment. And I will say, hey, your shipment's supposed to come today. Hey, your shipment's coming tomorrow. Or, hey, your shipment came 3 days ago. Did you put on your patches? And then I will write it in, you mark it here on this form. And then your second checkup is going to be the next month, 5 days prior to the monthly shipment you put in. Hey, you've been on the patches a couple of weeks now. How are you feeling? What's going on? That's when you find out, wait, was there retracing going on? Were they in some kind of pain and they took the patches off and they're freaking out, but they can't tell you because they're embarrassed? These are real things that take place. I had that recently. As a matter of fact, we talked about that in a training call today. I'm like, I'm so thankful that I know I follow through people, because we just enrolled her yesterday. This is after talking with her for a month, but I enrolled her yesterday. But if I had not followed up with her quickly and found out about that pain quickly, she would have thought there was something wrong and thought this was the wrong way to go. But instead, now she's enrolling her mom too. So it's all about the follow-up. So this third checkup is 5 days prior to the second auto ship. Then the fourth one's 5 days prior to the third auto ship. And the purpose of that is to check in with your people. But then also, guess what you get to do? If they enrolled as a silver, you get to offer the opportunity to help them upgrade to a gold. Why? Because they're going to need more product other than just the X39. I love our stem cell activation, but I also want to make certain they are experiencing the anti-inflammatory. I want to make sure they are experiencing, if they're working through something, they got bone on bone, all those things. I'm going to make certain they have these other tools that were in place before the stem cell activation came to help their bodies. I'm going to find some protocols like David just talked about, Eon and glutathione. And I'm going to help them in their journey and not just take a sale and keep on trucking. I want to serve them in some way, because this is how we have retention. This is how you retain your people that you enroll, by staying connected with them. And your distributors that you enroll someone, listen, you might have somebody that gets on your very last nerve. Hey, I know the truth out there. But if they're reaching out to you and you're not responding to them because either they got on your nerves, or maybe you don't think they're as important, or you don't think they're performing, or whatever, I ask you to please connect them with someone else until they are walking with someone else, so that you retain them. Because if you don't retain that person that is enrolled underneath you, they're going to duplicate like you. They're not going to be in contact with their people, or they're going to feel defeated. They're going to feel unloved. They're going to feel unwanted, and they're not going to finish. And guess what that's going to do? That's not going to contribute to your income, not one iota. So let's look at the big picture, walking out life together. I hope those are good things. Places for you to mark it up. Did you get it set up? Yes. What's the date? When did you upgrade? All these things. Did you add them to the Telegram groups? These are important. Are they in the Be Activating training? Are they in the Facebook group? Or did they buy Business in a Kit? What's going on with that? Do they have their In Touch app? I make certain all these things are very important, and they may seem tedious to you, but you know, if you went to go do a job in a corporate company, guess what you would have? You would have a manual you have to follow and all these things you have to memorize. So this is just a way to serve yourself and serve other people. And so that is your intake form. Again, I'll put these forms here for you. Let me go to the next, and then in 5 minutes, I'll break in for questions. I have a few forms I want to hit for you. Okay, the health activity tracker. I'm not going to go through the health activity tracker, but again, this is a form you need to have printed out for yourself. If I do a 5-day supply with somebody, I make sure they have this with them. And I tell them, hey, complete this before you start your 5-day. And even though you won't feel anything necessarily, this will help you get ready for when you get your order in. And I plant these seeds as I'm moving along because I want to put them on a silver. I want to get them moving toward the X39 and the anti-inflammatory. I want to move them toward having glutathione in their body that helps against all sorts of things. I want to help them in their journey. This is something I have printed out. I have mine laminated because I'm just, you know, I'm anal like that, y'all. I just am. The other thing I would make sure you have your simple order form. Here's a simple order form. This is a simple one. Have this laminated, have this printed out, have yourself your own business in a glance, like they call it. Have all your forms and have them at your fingertips. I carry mine in my purse. That's why I laminate them, because they'll all get messed up in my purse because I'm the messy purse girl. So I have them all in my purse. I can pull them out at any minute, look at them myself if I have a question, or show them to someone else if they ask me for prices when I'm on the go. And then you can also see how the points are, how they're going to impact you. So this is golden. And also, if you're on the fly and you've got some forms with you, maybe you don't have an intake form, you can take the cell right here, personal information and payment method. You can do that yourself, get that information from your person, enroll them, and keep moving. I don't know if you know about, there's a new patch summary. Here's the new patch summary. Whoops, that's not the patch summary. How did that happen, y'all? Did I click the wrong one? I did click the wrong one. Well, in the meantime, here is the electronic gifting envelope. If you don't have this, this is fabulous. This is what I read from. They're really not kidding. You really do read from this stuff. You really don't have to memorize anything. You really can just read from this and sound intelligent and sound like you know what you're talking about. You really, really can. And this is excellent to keep in mind. And it also reminds you, oh yeah, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee for our wholesale distributor pricing. And I always tell someone, listen, just because you buy wholesale doesn't mean you have to sell anything. Because that sometimes is why somebody doesn't want to get a silver. Well, I don't want to be a salesperson. Well, you don't have to be. You can buy from yourself wholesale in your journey, in your health journey, because that is how it's set up just for you, to serve you. And then, let's see, order form, the new patch summary. You know what? I put the wrong one in here. So I don't have the new patch summary, but I'll find it here in a second. The hot sheet. If you don't have the hot sheet printed out, get this printed out, y'all. You need to have this printed out for yourself. You need to read it, because then when you really start creating volume, you're going to understand the shift that takes place. You're going to understand, oh, I need 3 people, not just 2 people. And you won't be shocked if you're waiting to promote and you're not promoting, because you need 1 more person on that side in order for you to have that promotion. You know, these are easy. These are simple things to go through, and just pretend like this is your job. And if this is your goal, to use LifeWave to help the world and to help yourself, you know, health and wealth, then if you have these tools with you, it will really, really help you. And if you will train the people that you enroll to carry the same tools, you will be more successful. And listen, if you don't want to do this, if you just want to send them a link and rock on, and you have no engagement with the people that are your distributors, I don't know how that's going to go well for you. If you don't connect with them, connect them with someone with intention that will be able to feed them and help them in their journey. Because if they're helped, you'll be helped. And if you don't, and they're just floundering like a fish on the sand, nobody's going to be happy, and it's going to put a bad taste in people's mouth, y'all. So really, it's all about loving people, you know, it really truly is. And I know love's a strong word for you guys, but you know, it is. And then let's see right here, the 90 days to 3-step process, manager to senior director. I love this. It tells you very clearly your first step is to be binary qualified. You can get paid up to $100 a week, but when you become a manager, you can get paid up to $1,500 a week. Tells you exactly what you need right here. If you have any questions, you wonder, I'm not real sure, just look on this form. Look on this form and let it tell you, let it lead you. I've taken these with me, and I used to have them in a notebook because, again, I'm a little anal. In a 3-ring binder, all a little organized because, you know, and but that is actually, I've met with some business people that did professional coaching. And when they saw the order of my book, my 3-ring notebook, they had a designed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They wanted 1, 2. It's not that complicated. Not everybody has to have that. But do you know that helped them? They saw it professionally. They saw it as something they could do. They were anal like me, and they needed structure for them to feel like they could feel safe with this company that they wanted to be involved in to earn their income. Because these are people that wanted to earn income. They loved the health, but they needed the wealth, right? And so every person's different. You got to meet them where they are. If you can't meet them where they are, get somebody else who can meet them where they are. Don't make it all about you. And the last thing I want to show you is this patch summary, patch placement. This is a patch placement guide. It's 3 pages long, but I love it because it's big enough for my eyeballs to see. So I'm going to put all these links in the chat so you can copy and paste them and put them in your own phone or whatever. And if any of that helps you, awesome. And I'm going to open it up for questions. And if I can answer, awesome. If I can't, well, we'll put that on Peter next time he shows up. Oh, you know, the other thing, hold on. I did remember one thing. A friend of mine, what she does is when the minute she enrolls somebody, she writes their name down in her calendar, a paper calendar. You can use your phone if you want to. It doesn't matter. She writes their name down. And then she counts 5 days later, you know, the tickler I showed you on the intake form, she writes her name down 5 days later and their phone number. And she knows when she gets to that day, oh, I'm going to call this person and check in on them. When she enrolls them, she does the 5-day. And then that minute she goes ahead and she puts it 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, whatever. She writes her name and number down again. And so she duplicates this so that she's always in contact with her people. And then she uses the back of the intake form to write notes regarding that person that she's walking out this journey with, including, hey, they may even want to share it with somebody. You know, you do that for a little while, then you'll be all organized and you'll have some retention. And when people won't drop out is easy. I'm telling you, I've had some folks drop out because I did not do that. And they loved the patches. But guess what? They wanted some community. And I wasn't giving them community. And unbeknownst to me, I wasn't giving them what they needed to stay engaged. Some people are only going to be engaged by the money. If they're making money, they're rocking them. They don't care. It's like, woo, see you later. I'll let you know. But then others need someone they can throw things off of and talk about. And, you know, we're really going to start on Monday. My team, we're going to start meeting on Mondays for anybody. And we're just calling it check-in. Mondays at 9 a.m. Central. Anybody who wants to check in, even if it's just for a few moments, to find out, okay, what are you doing? What's your goal this week? What happened over the weekend in your business? Is there someone you're working with that you're having issues with and you don't know how to talk with them? Is there someone who has a specific condition you've never heard of and you don't know really what to do to serve them? We're going to do check-ins and just go round rate like my husband does this. I hear him all the time. They'll have 10, 15 people on a call, all upper leadership, management, and they're, okay, John, okay, what's going on with you? Okay, Craig, what's going on with you? And they just go round robin, and we're going to start doing the same thing so that our team can feel comfortable with one another, asking questions and all those things, because you get kind of like, oh, I don't want to ask that. I feel kind of dumb. I should know that by now. It's been a year and a half. I still have to ask Charity, where do I find volume again? I know it's that big number. And what's that GVC? I don't know, because I just kind of forget because I don't go into it all the time. So anyway, okay, now I'm done. I'll post the little links. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? If you do, unmute yourself and go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Krista. I'm gonna do this while you're talking.
I just wanted to say that you said something just now that really hit home with me, because I started last summer and my heart is just, I want to just do so much so quick. And you and Peter are so good at saying this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, which is true. But the other thing that I just wrote down, that now is the learning time for when the future comes. I'll be ready to take care of my people then. It's kind of that scripture that says, if you're faithful with a few things, you can be faithful with more. And it just gave me such a peace to right now to say, it's okay. It's okay that right now things aren't happening as fast as I want them to, because I put learning time. Now is my learning time. And I don't know, I just got this big peace today. So I'm just so thankful, because my heart and my motivation and my passion is go, 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 go. But it's okay not to be there yet, because that's not going to stop. But I want to be ready when that happens. And now is my foundation.
Excellent.
Time.
Good job. Rob, you have some suggestion that something that works for you regarding your monthly shipment. Do you want to unmute and talk about it?
Sure. I recommend when you're setting or telling your people you've signed up, downline, whatever you want to refer them to as, to set their auto ship on the second of the month, especially as your organization grows and your people on your team grows, because you want your business front loaded in a month, because as we go through the month, we're trying to hit certain numbers. It's always easier when you have all your business at the front of the month, instead of trying to wait down the last 5 days in the month to try to track down, see if someone's got their order in. Anyway, just makes your organization go a lot smoother. So I recommend that. And I do the second of the month simply because if you're doing the first of the month, the money's not normally taking a day ahead. Could be the 28th, could be the 30th, could be the 31st. So I know every month my auto ship will come out on the first of the month.
So let me see if I understand, because I'm a little anal. I kind of made that clear. I know, but it's true. You're saying all the monthly shipments you wanted the second of the month? Is that what you literally saying? That's what you're doing?
Yes. Whenever I sign somebody up, I encourage them to set up their auto ship on the second of the month. That way, all of your business is front loaded at the front of the month, and you're not trying to scramble to hit certain numbers or certain number again at the end of the month, like the last 5 days. If you get all your business done at the front of the month, it makes it a lot easier. That's
interesting. I'll chew on that. For me personally, whenever I enroll somebody, for me, now you tell me if this is wrong, y'all talk back. So when I'm enrolling people all month long, and so I have my monthly shipments all month long, and there might be a week that I flounder, but for the most part, my aim, at least, and it's worked really well. My aim has been for me to have stability every single week. So I'm hitting good income every single week, and not just one time when that one monthly shipment's in. So I don't agree that would be how I would be able to do it, because I want my monthly shipments all month long, and I want to be at my rank all month long and not just that 1 week.
Granted, okay, but that's you're taking the fact that you're going to get 100% compliance. You won't. Some people won't want to pay an auto ship on the first or second of the month, early in the month. Maybe they want to do it in the month. Yep. Depends on what they're being paid at. I'm just saying you're going to try to lump as many as you can. You're not going to get full compliance, but lump as many as you can, because it makes your month go easier.
Yeah, nope, I hear you. I'm glad that works. I don't, when they need to do that, I help them do that. But for the most part, I usually just tell them 25 days after later, and that works well. So whatever y'all want to do, y'all do what works for you. I know for me, it's worked well for me to have financial stability every single week versus just at the front or the end of my month. But y'all are going to have to determine that on your own moving forward. You got to figure out what works for you and what you're comfortable with. Yes, Jenny.
I have two quick questions. One is, do you have them change their password when you sign them up?
Honestly, I do not,
Okay.
because I'm building teams and I'm going into cities and I'm after entire cities. So what works best for me is I create their login, I create their password, and I ask them not to change their password because a couple of us will be helping them in their journey moving forward. But if your intention is not to build a team and
No, I want to build a team.
okay, so if it just depends on the intention of the person. And if they're not comfortable with that, then of course you have got to comply. I'm not going to force somebody to, but I do say, please do not change your password. We will be working with you moving forward in helping you with your patching, et cetera, et cetera. And then I continue to say, hey, and by the way, could you please download the LifeWave InTouch app? Because there is a form there I need for you to complete before your patches arrive. And so they know they have an assignment from the get-go when they get their login and password information. And then I said, please text me back as soon as you do. And then they text me, hey, I've got that download. I'm like, great. Okay, now. And I show them how to use their app. And I tell them the first media all the way down to the end. And I have them download the health activity tracker so that they can print out that thing and fill it out before their patches come in. So now they're engaged in the intention of their health.
Love it. And the other question I have is, I don't know if you want to answer this now, but getting people on the phone is like pulling teeth. People don't want to get on the phone, and it's so much easier to talk to someone. I know Peter says Dr. Stacy says that she does the voice messaging, which I do, but I'd rather talk to somebody on the phone. So it's it's clear. We're not going back and forth trying to figure out what they're trying to say.
Yep. And you got to do it.
How do you get people on the phone?
But if it doesn't work, then you're going to have to change your ways. So
Okay.
I don't always do the phone. Look, if I can get their phone number, that's all I care about. Because then I do voice messaging, and they hear my tone, and they hear my love, and they hear my voice. I don't have to have and I remember we had someone recently that was reaching into someone else, and this woman had been tap dancing with her for months, and she just was not making any headway. And so I said, well, why don't you do a little, and she couldn't get her phone number for nothing. And I do not do business in Messenger. I want their phone number. If they can't give me their phone number, it's very rare for me to continue to pursue them, because to me, that just is not relational. Anyway, so she did a three-way in Messenger, like Facebook, with me and her and this lady. And so she said, hey, this is such a witch, and I think she can answer your question better than me. So then I said, hello, Miss Such a Witch. How are you? This is Donna Reiners. So nice to meet you. Oh, I don't know what she's told you or something. I'm not real sure what's been going on, but I wanted to help you. Did you know that when you were born, you had the highest amount of stem cells you're ever going to have? And I do my, my less than a minute and a half little spiel. And I'm like, we have a wonderful product to help your own body repair itself. And, by the end of our time, we had their phone number, and we ordered, and we got them on a silver within 24 hours, because she needed to hear a voice, but the other lady wouldn't get anywhere with her just because it was from a group, and it was one of those cold contacts and didn't know you. So it was very hard. As a matter of fact, I did I'm talking to everyone now. I did a TikTok invitation sometime back, and people, I had lots of responses, but out of all those responses, I only got I got 2 phone numbers. That's it, 2. But I did get their phone numbers, and I did get to have conversations with these people, but all the rest refused because it was a cold contact. And TikTok is scary because of all that junk, So it's the same thing as Messenger. if you can just let them hear your voice, just send them a kind, warm, hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to sell you kind of thing, because that's the truth. And if that's not your intention, then, you know, and there was someone else who had a question. Amy, you had a question.
Yes, this, and I hear this from several people. Once you hit a rank, like you hit manager, like I've had people say to me, oh, once you hit manager, you're always manager. But that's not true.
Well, what it
Is
is,
it?
well, see how it works is once you meet the qualifications to be manager, yes, you'll always be called manager, but it doesn't mean you'll be paid as a manager if you lose the people that created that structure of manager. Just like once you could reach SPD level. And if you don't have the 2 directors in place, you might be making, you know, $25,000 a week or whatever, 10, whatever. But if you only have 2 directors and one of them falls out, you get to get paid as a director. If you just have enough to qualify you as a director, even if you were at a SPD level, because you have to have the structure in place, at least currently in the pay structure. That's why it's important for you to look at that one form that I put in here for the one that says the 90 days to senior director. If you click on that, it'll show you. So yeah, you just have to have that structure right now, and it's helpful. It gives you goals. It gives you goals.
But you're not being paid. I mean, if you,
Nope.
yeah.
That
But-
person would lose the ability to get paid as an SPD if
Mhm.
they lost one of the structure that kept them at SPD. That's why you need to have multiple managers. That's why it's all about just making manager, you know, just creating managers. I'm running a promotion this week, and it's for maintenance plan promotions. And I'm giving, you know, my team someone free, the enroller, something free. The person who purchases the maintenance plan, free something. And so, but what that did was I was able to work with some specifics in the team. This person was able to re-engage someone, but with the maintenance program, and then this person became a manager again. Well, when this person became a manager again, this person became a director again. And when that person became a director again, it helped this person be an executive director again. And so you see, the ranks matter. They do matter. And if you're engaged in this business and you give a care, I encourage you to continue to make manager with intention. And when you get to a place where you're close to being the next level, and you're like, you know, I'm tired, I don't do this anymore. You know, I say, finish that stretch of the race, because that's impacting these other people. And nobody's asking you to go out and like kill anybody. Goodness gracious, just asking you to share some health. That's all it's about. Just share some health to solidify some of those positions, because it impacts everybody, y'all. It impacts the structure, it impacts promotions, it impacts how you get paid. You know, this is just real stuff. You know, it's not about the pressure. My God, you got to hurry. But it's like, it takes some pressure off when you get paid at the level you're supposed to be paid at, while you're trying to figure out a way to increase what you need to have more of those directors or whatever. Does anybody else have a question?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Did that help? Was that your question? Was that your answer, Amy?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
didn't, I mean, if it shows in your back office that you're still manager, does it
Well,
still?
if you lose somebody and if you only have 4 people, 2 and 2, and they're all silvers and above, you're gonna be manager. If you lose one of them, you will no longer be paid as a manager, but you always have a lifetime rank of the level you reached, but that doesn't mean you'll be paid as a manager. So all that means is you would only be able to cycle up to $100, enough to support you with $100 a week if you're a manager. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll still get paid something. Anybody have a question? And
Thank
Rob, I wasn't dogging how you do it. I'm just sharing with you from my standpoint. I've found that having something level all all month has really helped my finances and how I pay my bills, because my bills are not just in the front end, man. I got bills first. I got bills every week due. Okay,
Oh,
anybody?
no,
else?
no, no worries, Donna, no worries. It's just, I've got customers, and so those customer visits come each week. So I get residual income coming in just from the customers, not just a cycle.
Got it. That's awesome. No, and I'm listening. I re-engage, I re-listen, and I contemplate, and I'll go look now at my monthly shipments, and I'll do all that behind the scenes now. Okay, anybody else got a question or anything?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Who is she? Who are you?
This is Beth Ann.
Hi,
Hi.
Beth Ann. It just says iPhone, honey.
Oh, it does.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm on
good,
my
man.
husband's phone. Sorry.
I got you. You're good.
This is Tom. I'm on Tom's phone. So, you said you are always having to ask Charity about these points over on the right, and I do not understand those. You know, the points that we're keeping track of that are, I don't understand why they fluctuate up and down. I don't understand if they're monthly points. You know
Are
which
you-
ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, which points? Because the points I'm talking about with regards to what I asked about are in the volume area of the global volume. And
That's it.
it's an area nobody actually needs to go into, but at her level, you need to go into it because you're looking at people you're looking at income producers and people trying to go someplace with their career. So what points are you talking about? Are you talking about your monthly shipments? Are you talking about the points on the left leg and the right leg here at the bottom on your back office?
Same ones you were, the global volume.
Oh, that's all right. I can't answer it. Sorry.
I got asked.
I just know this, that when she looks in my numbers, what you do is you go to the far right and look at those numbers. And if they're increasing, then you know that your teams are working. But if you're going down 20,000, up 20,000, up 5,000, down, and you're going fluctuating so much over months, then there's not a consistency and a stability in your team, because you're not producing on a regular basis every week. So somebody's going in and out, and that's not stable. So she,
So
you know,
that's
she told me that if I'll just keep, it's because she'll watch my numbers. Mine are going up, even over a year. They continue moving. They may go down 5,000, but they keep going up because I'm working every day. I'm not just working once a month.
But those are a monthly number or a weekly number?
They're weekly numbers. Those
For that week,
the global volume thingy baloppies, those are weekly numbers. Sorry.
that week.
Yeah, those.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Weekly. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I asked Charity, but she was busy during this time. I said, here, come here. Because I knew we'd have something like that. Anybody else got a question? Yes, sir. Yes, Greg. I saw you were unmuted, but I was going to ask you, then I forgot. Yes, sir. Greg, what's your question? Can you unmute? Let me find you. Greg, are you changing your mind? Okay, well, if you want to talk, speak up. Otherwise, does anybody else have a question while Greg's trying to figure out his audio? Is this helping anybody? I don't need a bunch of licks, but I just, you know, in the know with Donna Reiners does not rhyme as well as in the know with Peter No. Okay, so I'm just saying. Let's see. Greg, if you want to ask, if anyone wants to ask me a question and you don't want people to know who you are, you're welcome to do it privately, and then I'll answer if I have a question answered.
No.
Donna?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Beth Ann again. I just want to say, my
Um,
husband says nothing could be finer than to be with Donna Reiner.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, I'm not gonna have a podcast called that. That's funny. Thank you, Peter. That's funny.
you.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. People are doing it now. I don't know. Sometimes we're embarrassed to ask questions. Oh, you can't get your microphone on your laptop. I'm sorry. You know what? Can you ask it here? If it's convoluted, I can see where that'd be crazy, but I asked you a question in the chat about passwords. Somebody's asking me about passwords. Okay. For passwords. You know what? We have team passwords. So you do what works for you. So I may have set like, let's say your password is flowers 578. I don't know, whatever. And a number sign or a dollar sign or something. Or maybe it's your first name and 5678 or whatever. Whatever you do, if you'll make it consistent enough for anyone who is working with you, like an upline, to be able to think about what it would be for you without having to know it exactly, that's really helpful. Nobody can go and buy anything from you. I think yours is working now, Greg, unless it's somebody else is unmuted, because I hear somebody. Nobody can go in, the CVV code disappears. Sometimes even the credit card disappears. I notice. I'm like, well, alrighty then. I have to go find the doggone thing here. I think I'm going to be able to do it now. I have to find my book and everything. And so figure out something that works for you. There's another team. And when you start working with teams let's say there's a senior director and they're the one, it's their team, and they've worked their way up with all these people that work with them. She may have the number that she's come up with or the style she's come up with. And I do know someone they use a first name and something and a dollar sign. And then there's another team that uses last name, 234 dollar sign. And there's another team, because when you, or use Dashlane or something where you can have all these passwords so that you can quickly get into one of your distributor's account to help them with their personal enrollments. Because if you can't click on it, you can't help them. So I'm just saying, and there are ways, we're almost done, y'all. So I'm not going to stay on and on and on. You're so funny.
Hey, Donna.
Yes. Yay, Greg's in. Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Greg. Real quick, this is my first podcast or Zoom with you. I found your group on YouTube today, and because I'm interested in the stem cell. I live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico now. From Boston, was in Vegas for 23 years. I had a retirement planning practice there. And my question to you is, I understand that this group is in maybe 80 countries, okay, around the globe.
Hey, Greg.
Thereabouts.
Greg, let me ask you a question. Greg, before you ask these questions, I definitely want to answer your questions. But are you someone who is using the patches yet?
No,
Okay.
I came across this.
Right.
opportunity.
So what I would like to do, if you don't mind, because we're at the 2:30 hour.
Oh, okay.
Why don't I go ahead and I'm going to close the call, and then I can talk to you privately and let them go about their business, because we've already been for an hour. So gosh, thank you all so much for coming to Peter in the Know with Peter No with Donna subbing today. I bless you all for being here. Thank you so much for trusting me with answering questions. And if it was crazy, man, tell Peter, please.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
Okay,
you, Donna.
learned a
You
lot.
did
Yeah,
a great
bless
job.
you all. I'm
Amazing
going
job.
to down with Greg, and I'm going to close off the recording. I'm going to go.
Thanks, Donna. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you,
gonna-
Donna.
Thank you.
Bye, honey. I'm going to quickly go into Facebook and stop our live recording there. Bye, Facebook people. Blessings to you.
Thank
And I'm going to go in and stop the recording here. Blessings to all.